Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys Jerry Jones reveals true reason behind Brian Schottenheimer hire. The hire of Brian Schottenheimer sent shockwaves around the NFL. In what seemed to be a combination of the familiarity hire and a trying to outthink the room hire, the Dallas Cowboys made longtime NFL offensive coordinator, and the team's own offensive coordinator since 2023, the 10th coach in franchise history. Schottenheimer has managed to stay in the league for a significant amount of time, over 25 years, and has worked as an offensive coordinator jobs for 4 franchises in that time. Nowadays, journeyman-style offensive coordinators do not tend to get head coaching opportunities, with owners and general managers opting to go with boy wonder, whiz-kid types like Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, both of whom were under 40 when hired by the Rams and 49ers. Even this past off-season, both of the 2 other offensive coordinators hired this cycle, Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen, fall short of the 40-year-old mark, coming in at 38 and 39 respectively. All the while, the more veteran Schottenheimer will turn 52 this year. Amidst questions about the hire, Jerry Jones decided to clarify the reasons behind the appointment of Schotty in the team's press conference to introduce the new hire to the world. Part of the initial allure of his new head coach, according to Jerry himself, was understanding Schottenheimer's background and makeup, and having a good knowledge of him both as a coach and a person. "When I was on the competition committee, we had many times when we were together," Jones said. Jean, Jones' wife, knew Marty Schottenheimer, Brian's father. "We know what Schotty grew up around, not just from that, but we knew." Perhaps an even more telling comment came just after, where Jones notes, in explaining his new head coach's strengths, that he had a true deference to authority. "I've watched him have deference to his head coach. I've watched him have deference to experience, guys like former defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. I've watched him bite his lip sometimes when he didn't necessarily agree with that direction. But he bit his lip as his daddy would have told him to bite your lip, have deference." Despite Jones clearly meaning this as a compliment, the ability of Schottenheimer to show restraint and discipline in key moments, this will not be a good look for Jones. The narrative has been for quite some time that Jerry Jones enjoys employing yes men as his head coach in Dallas, much due to his desire to maintain strict control over as much of the team as possible, hence why he still serves as both the franchise's owner and general manager. So painting your new head coach as, first and foremost, a disciplined lip-biter, will do nothing to extinguish the idea that Jones, once again, is looking for a head coach that he can keep under his pinky finger. Cowboys seek interview with little-known potential addition. The Cowboys have Brian Schottenheimer in place as the team's new head coach, for better or for worse. While just about no one in the orbit of the Cowboys, former players, fans, media observers, is particularly happy about the way the coaching search unfolded, Schottenheimer would be wise to shut out that noise and simply focus on putting together his staff. No doubt, the search left much to be desired. In the wake of parting ways with former coach Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys conducted a 3-week search that produced interviews with Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, himself a former Cowboys offensive coordinator, plus interviews with Seahawks assistant Leslie Frazier and ex-Jets coach Robert Saleh. There was buzz about Deion Sanders, but no concrete, formal interview. The same could be said of newly hired Raiders coach Pete Carroll and Packers assistant Rich Bisaccia. Chatter, but no real pursuit. It appeared, really, that Schottenheimer was the guy all along. Now, Schottenheimer has gotten to work on the business of adding to his staff. Obviously, since he'd been the offensive coordinator for the past 2 years, he will need to fill that role. And, increasingly, it appears that the Cowboys are zeroing in on bringing back former Bears head coach Matt Eberflus as the team's defensive coordinator. Eberflus was fired by Chicago at the end of November. According to NFL insider Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, the Cowboys are seeking a rather unconventional pick at offensive coordinator, though. The Cowboys requested an interview with Falcons tight end coach Kevin Koger for their offensive coordinator job, per source, Pelissero reported on Twitter, X, on Sunday. Koger is just 35 years old and has no resume whatsoever as a coordinator. He has been the Falcons' tight ends coach for this season, and had been with the Chargers in the same role from 2021 to 23. He was a quality control assistant with the Packers before that. Cowboys plan to hire coach fired by 49ers. As the old saying goes, coaches are hired to get fired. In that sense, there are an assortment of unfair criticisms being aimed at the Dallas Cowboys' building of a coaching staff, starting with new top guy Brian Schottenheimer, and certainly when it comes to critics of the San Francisco 49ers, when it comes to Nick Sorensen, too. The Cowboys, having moved on from head coach Mike McCarthy while also allowing incumbent special teams coordinator John Bones Fassel to take the same job with the Tennessee Titans, are planning to bring Nick Sorensen to the Star. On paper. Just like first-time head coach Schottenheimer and just like the plan for Dallas to hire Matt Eberflus to run the defense, Sorensen is credentialed. And he's connected here. Sorensen, the 49ers' defensive coordinator last season, worked with Schottenheimer in 2021 with the Jaguars, when Schotty was the passing game coordinator and Sorensen was the special teams boss. They also share a Seattle tie, as Schottenheimer and Sorensen also were together with the Seahawks from 2018 to 20 under Pete Carroll. Sorensen, 46, joined the 49ers in 2022 as a defensive assistant before becoming the team's defensive pass game specialist coach. He was defensive coordinator for only one season. As he's now out, as the 49ers have hired former Jets head coach Robert Saleh to get a second stint as defensive coordinator under head coach Kyle Shanahan. So, to the criticism that Sorensen, or Schottenheimer, or Eberflus, isn't good enough because he got fired. Hey, they pretty much all get fired. Meanwhile, another Saleh guy, former Jets special teams coordinator Brant Boyer, will now become the 49ers special teams coordinator. What do you think? Would be a good signing for the Cowboys? Give your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel.